Welcome back to the INFJ Diary, a series where I pull back the curtain and reveal the inner world of an INFJ. If you've been following along, you know this isn't just some abstract discussion on personality types. This is my personal experience as INFJ and the lessons I have learned walking this path. In my last video on this series, we explore why INFJs are so intimidating, how our quiet intensity, deep insight, and unwavering presence can leave people unsettled. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out on my channel, because today's topic will take things a step further. Today I will be touching in something that most people don't see coming until it's too late. Why INFJs are dangerous. Not in the reckless, destructive way some might assume, but in a way that shakes people to their core. There's something undeniably powerful about being an INFJ. It's not just our depth, our empathy, or our ability to see through people. It's the impact we have, often without even trying. And when an INFJ decides they are done, the absence we leave behind is something people don't just notice. They feel it. The people who truly understand us recognize this power. And those who cross us, they never forget it. So let's dive in. The silent weapon. When kindness becomes power. There's a misconception that kindness is a weakness. That because we care, because we listen, because we go out of our way to understand others, we are somehow soft, easy to manipulate, easy to break down. And for a long time, even I believed in that. I thought my ability to empathize with others, to see their struggles and their pain, was a gift that could only be used for good. But this gift is also a two-edged sword, and what people don't realize is that the same insight that allows me to lift someone up can also be used to tear them apart. And I don't mean that lightly, I mean completely, methodically, and with a precision that even surprises me at times. I don't enjoy it. I don't seek it out. But I know it's there, lurking beneath the surface like a blade waiting to be unsheathed. I remember a time when someone I trusted betrayed me in a way that cut deep. They took my kindness for granted, used my willingness to understand them as a tool to manipulate me. I let it slide, again and again. Because that's what I do. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to see the best in them. I make excuses for their actions and behavior. But there's always a line. And once it's crossed, there is no going back. When I actually decided I was down, I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I simply let them see the truth, the raw, and filtered reality of who they were and where their choices were leading them. I spoke with a clarity that left no room for denial. And in that moment, I watched as the weight of my words sank in. Because when an INFJ decides to show you who you really are, it's not just an opinion. It's a mirror reflecting every weakness, every insecurity, every lie you've told yourself. And when that mirror shatters, there's nowhere to hide. So, I walked away that day without looking back. No explanations, no justifications, just silence. And that silence was louder than any word or argument could have ever been. That's the thing about INFJs. We don't just leave. We erase. And when we erase, it's as if you never existed. If you've ever experienced an INFJ shutting you out completely, You know exactly what I mean. It's not just distance. It's as if the entire connection, every shared moment, every piece of trust, has been wiped from existence. And for those on the receiving end, it's one of the most unsettling things they will ever experience. But here's what I've learned. This isn't a flaw. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's survival. It's the way we protect ourselves after giving too much, after being drained by people who don't appreciate what we have to offer. And it's a reminder that just because we are kind doesn't mean we are weak. In fact, it's the opposite. Our kindness is a choice. A choice that can be revoked any time when necessary. Do any of this resonate with you? Have you ever had to walk away, unleash the truth, or see someone's future before they did? Let's talk in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Now, the INFJ brutality. I've always been the type of person to see the best in people. To forgive, to try again, to give endless chances, again and again because I believe in the possibility of change. But there's a limit, there is a line, and when that limit is reached, something shifts inside me. The warmth suddenly disappears, the deep connection once we had is dissolved. And just like that, I erase them, not just from my life, but from my emotional world. It is like a switch bottom that you flick on. There was a time when I placed my trust in someone, believing they valued and respected our connection. But betrayal doesn't always come in a single, devastating blow. It creeps in, little by little. It wasn't just what they did, it was the pattern. The quiet dismissal of my boundaries, the persistent disregard, the way their words and actions never quite aligned. It was the subtle manipulation, the unspoken assumption that no matter how much they pushed, I would always forgive, always stay. And for a while, I did. I gave them chance after chance, convincing myself that they didn't mean to hurt me, until one day, something inside me shifted. It wasn't anger. It wasn't even sadness. It was clarity, sharp, undeniable, and final. And in that moment, I knew I was done. I didn't shout. I didn't fight. I didn't even try to explain. I just walked away. And when an INFJ walks away, you know exactly what happens. It's not just about cutting contact. It's like erasing every trace of the connection. It's as if we never knew each other at all. Some call it ghosting, but that doesn't even come close. What INFJs do is something far more final, something I call INFJ brutality. The INFJ door slam isn't just walking away. It's locking the door, sealing it shut, and throwing away the key. There is no return, no second chance, no lingering attachment. The person we once cared for so deeply doesn't just fade into the background. They cease to exist in our emotional world. It's a clean break, a silent, unwavering decision that cannot be undone. And the most unsettling part, we do it without anger, without chaos, without a single moment of hesitation. Our silence speaks louder than any word or argument ever can do. It's not about revenge at all. It's not about hurting the other person. It's about survival, about protecting ourselves after giving too much for too long. INFJ brutality is not cruelty, it's clarity. And once the decision is made, There is no looking back. If you've ever had to door slam someone, you know exactly what I mean. It's not easy, but sometimes it's necessary. Let me know in the comments, have you ever reached that breaking point? I would love to hear your thoughts. Being an INFJ is not about seeking power. It's about understanding it, mastering it, and using it with wisdom. Our ability to see through people, to sense deception before it unfolds, to predict outcomes long before others even suspect a shift, these are not burdens. They are gifts, and our ability to walk away without regret, to sever ties when necessary, is not a sign of coldness. It is a sign of strength. For too long, we've been told that our depth is too much, that our intensity is intimidating, that our ability to detach is unsettling. But the truth is, our power is not something to fear. It is something to respect. Some will misunderstand us, some will fear what they cannot control, but the right people, the ones who truly see us, will recognize that our strength is not rooted in destruction, but in clarity, in truth, in an unshakable sense of who we are. If you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever felt like you don't fit in because you see the world differently, let this be your reminder. You were not meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. Your intuition, your depth, your ability to connect and to protect yourself in equal measure, these are your superpowers. Embrace them, honor them, and never apologize for being exactly who you are. The right people will recognize your worth, and those who don't, they were never meant to walk beside you in the first place. If this video resonates with you, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Have you experienced the intensity of being an INFJ, or do you feel like you're just starting to understand your power? Let's connect. And don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel to continue this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. There's so much more ahead, and I can't wait to share it with you.